What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the BTB Show, Beyond the Backboard. Today, it's the full squad. It's Jay, it's Omar, it's Earl, it's myself, Max. We're here to talk about Jayson Tatum. Is it the fact that he is expected to make his season debut tonight, Friday, May, what is it, the 6th? Friday, May 6th.
Yeah.
I said May. March. Excuse me.
March?
Friday, March 6th
Wow.
against the Dallas Mavericks. Less than a year after he tore his Achilles in Game 4 against the New York Knicks during the playoffs last year. That was in May or close to May.
10 months ago.
Late April, but that was in May. Case in point. Less than a year removed from that Achilles injury. He's coming back tonight. Presumably, if not tonight, sometime this weekend probably. So, Jay, I'll start it off with you. Are you surprised by this? And do you think this is too early for Tatum to be coming back?
I think that the league and fans are just confused on how injuries work. So I'm going to use the other guys that have Achilles injuries and other significant injuries as an example. Look at Kyrie Irving and look at his team. Kyrie's fully healthy. The Mavs are not good. Look at Tyrese Halliburton. Got injured, I think, 2 weeks after Tatum, 3 weeks after Tatum. His team's not good. He's not even going to try to come back. Damian Lillard, his team's not... Well, the Blazers aren't terrible, but they're in a play-in. They're not going to win a championship. Why rush him back? I saw Cam Akers in the NFL come back from an Achilles tear in 6 months and won a Super Bowl. It was a pivotal part of that. Like, I don't think we understand how good NBA or league doctors are in these leagues in general, how good medicine has been. Like, Jayson Tatum is healthy. I don't think that he's coming back too fast. I think that he is truly healthy. I mean, I think we're underestimating, like we said, these doctors, our new medicine, all these certain things, because, like, look at the Celtics. The Celtics are... what, second, third in the Eastern Conference right now? Second. They're doing their thing with Jaylen Brown. Peyton Pritchard made another leap. Derek White's good. Tatum made a leap. Imagine adding Tatum to this. If he's healthy, they're going to win the championship most likely. I'm not going to say I'm stamping them because I still love the Cavs. It's going to be them and the Cavs in the Eastern Conference Finals, in my opinion. But just looking at Jayson Tatum and where they stand, like, why would he not come back? If he's healthy, why would he sit? Like Kyrie Irving, like he said, Kyrie Irving's a streamer now, doing whatever he's doing. He literally said, I can play, but I'm going to take the season because the Mavs are playing for nothing. So I think Tatum is fully healthy. I don't think he's rushing anything. It's been 10 months. Achilles is a 9 to 12-month injury. And if he feels good in 10 months, he feels good. Like I said, medicine's good. It's progressed. I think that Tatum is more than capable to play right now, and he's only going to add to what the Celtics already have. And, yeah, him coming back is going to make them a championship contender off the rip. They're already a championship contender right now. They're second in the East without him. And he's supposed to be the 1A, 1B type of guy for this team because him and Jaylen Brown are probably on the same level of play. Jaylen Brown has the Finals MVP, Conference Finals MVP. Imagine adding Tatum, who was in the Olympics, who's always an MVP finalist, has as many, I think, first-team all NBAs as Luka Doncic, are like 4 or 5 of them. Like, I don't understand how people think that they're rushing him. It's been 10 months. I think he's more than ready. And I think the Celtics are about to shake up the NBA, not even the Eastern Conference, the entire league.
Omar, what do you think? Is Tatum coming back changing things for the Celtics and changing the dynamic of the East?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, like without a shadow of a doubt, that does 100% change the landscape. It kind of resets it back to where it was prior to all of these. Oh, this team's gonna be the first place and yada 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 because everything is so easy. This, that, and the third. It kind of just resets things on that type of level. But also to what Jay said, I mean, the Celtics are also like fine. Right? They're in second place in the East. They're killing it with Jaylen Brown. He's been a Finals MVP already. We know he can perform on this type of level, and he could probably play like this for the rest of the season. Look what he turned Luka Garza into. They're turning these players into significant role players that can actually do some good for this team. And they got Neemias Queta, who's been really good. They traded Anthony Simons for Nikola Vucevic, who's been off the bench, if I'm not mistaken, yes, for them, and he's a good backup for them. He's not where he used to be when he was in Orlando and then Chicago, but it is what it is. In terms of him coming back too early, and in terms of people actually, I will say this right now, it's gonna be a big storyline for the next couple of months. Fans, pay attention to what's coming out of my mouth right now, because you're going to look at me like a prophet in the next few months. People are going to absolutely freak out that Jayson Tatum is going to be playing on this superstar type of level. They're going to be freaking out and this, that, and the third. Oh my God, he came back and he's the best performer, best playoff performer, yada, yada, yada. It's all progressive, and it's all going to happen. And people are going to freak out and do this, that, and the third. But it also goes back to what Jay said about that he came back in 6 months. The football player that came back in 6 months. It's all relative. So with that, I'll concede the rest of my time. But
hey Earl, what are from your angle as a Lakers fan? What are your expectations both for Tatum the rest of the season and for the Celtics going into the playoffs?
Yeah, man. Lakers aside, like obviously it's a big rivalry, but at the end of the day, I want star players to play and perform in the league. I think it just makes basketball more enjoyable to watch. With that being said, I think the one thing I always say about injuries, man, situations like this, I have a lot of confidence in Tatum coming back at this time because it's coming from him, right? There's no major concern for him to come back and be rushed back. They're not in a situation where they're in the play-in. We need 1 or 2 wins to get back in standings. No, they're in a perfect place. I think, to be completely honest, like Tatum just misses the game. When I watched all the interviews about Tatum's injury, he was scared. Like he legit had interviews talking about how he felt like he was never going to play basketball again. Like that's how the injury was. I seen a video of him not being able to walk inside his house. He had to kind of sit down on the stairs and crawl inside, which is kind of crazy. Not like from his, I'm just saying like it sucks for him. Obviously, when you're doing things at a high level for so long, and your natural routine gets taken away, it's not just on the court, it's off the court as well. So with Tatum going through all these different situations, no point in my mind do I feel like Tatum or the Celtics will rush him back. So this is telling me like Tatum has taken the necessary precautions to get his body fully healthy to make this run back. So as far as like, is it too early? I don't think so, man. I think Tatum knows that they have a really good chance to win in the playoffs, and he knows that it's going to take him a couple weeks to get ramped up. I don't think he's going to go out there and play like 30 minutes the first game. I think him starting now gives him a chance to slowly progress back into his normal playing shape before the playoff starts. And as we're getting to the end of the season, it just makes sense for him to do it now. So on that point of things, and like Jay said, like Omar said, the doctors, people don't understand the technology we have nowadays is not like the 80s, man. You have doctors who have different treatments. We have so many different type of technologies. I don't know if you guys seen, like there's literally like so many different advancements in the medical field that allow these injuries to be sped up 10x. Not saying like I'm not saying like how safe it is, whatever, but obviously as time goes on, these injuries, I don't want to say they get less significant or less career ending, but I mean that's kind of the case. Like things change. So with that being said, I think the Celtics, I think they're in a great place, man. Like going into the season, we all sat here and talked about it. We kind of collectively counted out the Celtics. Obviously kind of a slap in the face to us now with them being the second seed. We all had like somewhat comments about Jaylen Brown, and I'll say personally for me, he's definitely overachieves in my expectations from this season. I never would have imagined him being like a top 5 in points per game, leading his team second in the Eastern Conference. We all kind of joked about it being a leap year potentially, and that's not the case. He took it personally. Not only, I think we had a conversation about this last week, not only did he grow his on-court game, like he even grew his off-court brain as well, and then became like kind of a likable player. Like he's building his basketball resume as a superstar player. So seeing all that, I think the Celtics are in a really great place, man. Like to me, I think they're the favorites. Like I don't think it's another team close to them. I like the Celtics. I mean, I like the Cavs as well. I think they still have to work out a little bit of chemistry bugs, but their defense looks good with Keon Ellis coming off the bench. He looks really solid, and the chemistry between the bigs, James Harden, and even Donovan Mitchell looks amazing. Like even with Mitchell missing a couple games, they still look good. But for me, shout out to the Celtics. I think they're going to be great. I don't think they're going to miss a beat, and I think all this talk about who's number one, it's not going to matter when they're holding on that championship potentially.
Yeah, and on the note of what Earl talked about in regards to the advancement of medical technology, back at, 40, 50 years ago, if you had a major injury like an Achilles tear or an ACL tear, if you even just made it back to the NBA and played a game, that was seen as a huge accomplishment. Forget being anywhere close to your old self, but if you could just get back on the court and play basketball, that was a big deal. So obviously, the rapid advancements of medical technology makes it so that someone like Jayson Tatum, Damian Lillard, Tyrese Halliburton can have a major lower extremity injury, and we all just expect them back in a year. And in addition, I think the fact that these professional athletes are in such great shape and the fact that they have such, physically built bodies and strong muscles in other places and high stamina, that allows them to rehab stronger, longer, and harder than I would imagine just the average person trying to rehab an Achilles or a torn ACL. So I think that's also something that plays into Tatum's advantages. We saw right away after his injury, he was instantly rehabbing, instantly, doing everything in his power. I'm sure putting in 6, 7, 8 hours a day into his rehab. So I think Tatum, on this, the moment he comes back in this moment for him, he deserves a lot of credit, because I'm sure it wasn't easy to pretty much devote his entire life for the better part of a year to just doing these workouts and rehabbing. And, I'm sure been a lot of, sweat and tears that he's put into this. So the fact that he is coming back right now, I think is a testament to him. Assuming he is healthy and he does feel good, like Jay said, I don't see why he shouldn't be out there. I think the expectations, if he was going to come back, was that was going to be closer to the playoffs. But the fact that he's ahead of schedule is great. It can help the Celtics either secure that second place in the East or maybe even make a push for first if Detroit falls off the pace a little bit. Assuming he is good to go, I don't see why he shouldn't be out there. It is a very different situation to Kyrie Irving and the Mavericks. However, I will caution NBA fans, because I don't know that we are going to see the Tatum that everyone remembers. I mean, the last memory we have of Tatum as a player was that game 4 against the Knicks. I think he had 40 points that game. He was unstoppable. Personally, I don't expect to see that Tatum. Definitely not right away. We might not even see that Tatum at all this season. But as like Omar alluded to, that is okay, because the Celtics have been fine without him. I think Jaylen Brown is equipped for this moment. I think he's ready for this moment to be the number one option on this team going into the playoffs. If by some absolute miracle Jayson Tatum is still able to put up 30 points in a playoff game, that's just a bonus. But I think if you are the Boston Celtics, you're looking at Tatum and Brown as more of a two-headed monster than ever. If anything, Brown is the first head in that monster. So I don't think that Tatum is going to be dropping 40-point triple-doubles in the playoffs this year. If he could even average 20 points, that would be such a massive win for the Celtics, and that would really take them up a notch. Even if Tatum is 50% or 60% of what he was playing at last year, I think that would be a huge win for Boston. So that's personally what I think. Let us know what y'all think about Tatum's return in the comments section below. Hopefully he has a good game against Dallas, assuming he does play. Again, if not against the Mavericks tonight, his return seems to be imminent. So as always, keep an eye out for our content here on YouTube, as well as on TikTok and Instagram as well. Thank you guys for watching. That's Jay, that's Omar, that's Earl, and I'm Max. Have a good rest of your day, everybody.